What's up, guys? It is Jonathan with One Big Impact. Sorry for the terrible quality, but I have no space on my phone to record, so I have to record on my laptop. The quality of the camera is not as good. I apologize. Something I want to talk about is technique, and lately, the things that I've been noticing. I have to keep working out. I'll get sidetracked. So I'll talk in between. I'm sorry. Damn. Hold on. I gotta write something down. So, I guess what I want to talk about is the amount of time that it takes to be able to get in your groove with your powerlifting. I want to say it's been, I don't know, I could look it up, right around 3 years I've been lifting pretty heavy. And what I've noticed is over the course of maybe like the last maybe 4 months, 5 months, what I've noticed is I am like getting all kinds of little, what I call golden nuggets of like technique, or golden nuggets of knowledge, I guess maybe you could call it. And through just lifting myself, I have realized all kinds of things that are working for me. Sorry, I can't stop. I gotta keep going. So, where I'm going with this video is, how long does it really take to start like really becoming a power lifter as you are as a person? That question is unanswerable, to be honest. I would say, in my opinion, if you ever think you're the best or an amazing power lifter, you're not prepared to grow and learn. What I will say is, after about a year, you're gonna realize that you still fucking suck. Really bad. This is 3-inch block snatch grip deadlifts for singles, 500. That felt fucking easy. So, fuck, that felt easy. Now, we gotta go back to bench. This time of the month is busy as fuck. The challenge, I'm about 90% sure who won the challenge. But obviously, I gotta do the due diligence and add up literally Every single person. It doesn't matter if they lost 2 pounds or anything. I always add it up. All of it. Little side note. If you were in the challenge and you didn't pay for the challenge, you're an asshole. Because now I gotta come up with that. So, future, next challenge, if we do another challenge, you don't pay in advance, you don't get in. That's like 10 people this year that have done that to me. So, I gotta stop being so goddamn soft when it comes to people not paying. That's something I gotta learn as a business guy. Somebody skipped out yesterday when they were supposed to pay. Day before. Anyway, this is a rambling video, I apologize. The golden nugget here is the fact that I've always done eyes under the bar, and what I noticed today was that I am way stronger if my chin starts under the bar, so I gotta keep track of my sets. So what I am explaining to you is that, give me a second, sorry. I have benched in the last 3 years roughly 3 to 4 times per week. $52 weeks. Five times 3, 150. $450 over 3 years. So 450, 500 sessions. How many times is that benching? Way more than that. Maybe 2, 3, 4,000 times I've benched. Obviously not like top sets of everything, but a fuck ton of benching. And over the last month, I have found 3 things that work really well for my bench. I've gotten a little bit wider, bar over my chin, not my eyes. That's so the takeout is a lot easier. And no shoes or deadlift shoes or flat shoes work really well for me for some reason. And my feet up under a little bit work a little bit better. So yep, I just farted, sorry. Shut the fuck up. No, but going back to bench. So the moral of the story basically is what I'm saying is you might be wondering, how long does it take to get a little bit better at bench? Or I a good bencher or a good deadlifter, or I guess, you know that whole rule, 10,000 hours? I feel like that's pretty accurate along the lines of this. I feel like if you are in a competitive, like, weight class, meaning like if you're 85 years old and the record for bench is like 60 pounds or something like that, I don't know. I don't think that's a super competitive thing. If you're in a raw with wraps category and there are no records in like 15 different fucking weight classes because it's USAPL and people don't use wraps in USAPL, and you're taking records left and right because there are no records, I don't know. I don't feel like that's super competitive because who the fuck are you competing against? But if you show up and you put into work and you do a couple meets a year, not 5 or 6, maybe the first year, do 5 or 6. Second year, 3 or 4. Third year, I would say bring it down to 2 a year max. And the reason I say that is because you need really dedicated off seasons to be able to learn your craft, in all honesty. These golden stitches that I'm talking about are actually pretty fucking rare. About a year in, like I said, you realize you fucking suck. A year in, you're gonna realize like a stance that works really good for you in squat. You know, where to comfortably, regularly put your hands on the bar. A good position for deadlifts and stuff like that. I would say your first year is literally just kind of learning how to lift. Like, you might be thinking, oh shit, I'm a year in. I'm deadlifted 500 or some shit. So was I. I deadlifted 500 before I even knew what fucking powerlifting was, in all honesty. I never squatted. I mean, I squatted, but like, it wasn't nothing. I remember a year ago, 2019. It's not a year ago. How many fucking years is that? What year is this? 2023? 4 years ago, I decided, before I was running, 4 years ago, maybe it was a little before that. Hold on. Golden stitch, right there. Before I go down to pick up a barbell on deadlifts, I go like this, and I expand my rib cage, and I breathe in, and Louis Simmons used to say, show me how fat you are, show me how fat you are. But it's the Valsalva maneuver, breathing in and bracing your core. Before I go down with the deadlift, especially if you got straps, you gotta be kind of fast, because if you're not fast, you're gonna run out of breath and you're gonna lose that bracing, to say the least. That being said, it's important, I wanna say this is 310. It's important I don't fucking remember. I'm all over the place. I'm sorry. I'm doing my best trying to make some content while I'm lifting. Hold on, let me check this real quick. 75, 85, 95, 100. So I need a 5. Give me a 5 on each side. The golden stitch with those guys is breathing and bracing before you pick up the deadlift bar or before you duck under to a squat bar. It makes that initial pull or that initial pickup or walkout feel really light. And when a bar feels light when you're on squats, when you're walking it out or picking it up off there, it just breathes an emotional confidence into your soul. So, are you a decent powerlifter to understand when you're kind of getting pretty decent? And I go back to that where I said, are you competitive in whatever weight class you're in? I feel like if somebody's like putting up records kind of regularly, you see some like recent records, like kind of like every 6 months or a year, they're like chipping off at those records and stuff. Like it's a pretty actively moving, or maybe it's been there for a few years or something like that. When you see other people in your weight class, and say there's 5 other people in your weight class or something like that, and they're getting similar numbers and they're taking records and stuff like that, I feel like that's a pretty solid indication, state records, that you're pretty decent. So at first, you're not gonna be, and it doesn't matter. Like, who gives a flying fuck? That set went like shit, but it's done. So, understanding that, have you ever worked at like a fast food restaurant? Ooh, battery saver's on. Ooh, better hurry. Have you ever worked at a fast food restaurant? And they tell you to work the register, and it's like really fucking overwhelming, and you just want to quit. And after a week, you're like, God, this thing's fucking simple. It's kind of the same thing. After about a year, let me grab my charger for the computer. Hold on. After about a year, you're going to realize that showing up is literally the biggest part of it. Although, you do have to make sure that you are like actively trying and researching to get better at your craft. Is this still going? Can't see shit. And that's super important. If you just come in and throw yourself through the motions and shit, there's gonna be days like that, I'll be honest. I'm like 10, 11 weeks out, something like that, from nationals in September in Tennessee. And this last prep, I hated every minute of it. I'm not gonna lie to you. you might be saying, well, why do you say that? Well, in all honesty, hold on, I gotta write my stuff down. In all honesty, I don't like high reps, and I tend to get careless. The gym's really hot. There's a couple plugs that I need to be able to set up the new AC. I lift alone, which is good, and it's bad. It's good because I don't try to show off or get too excited and stuff. But in the same sense, it's lonely. You know, but I kind of like it. But when you're in here 3 or 4 hours a day, 4 or 5 days a week, for months, just lifting and lifting and lifting and lifting, it can be very mind-numbing. It wasn't horrible. Like, I could think of a million things that would be worse. So I'm not bitching about it, but I'll tell you what, we got nationals coming, and I am so excited next week. This is kind of like a transitional week to heavy stuff, so I'm not really lifting heavy yet. But I'm excited to, you know, break some new barriers, learn some new things, and understand who I am as a lifter a little bit better. And I think that's what we all have to do. Those golden nuggets are 3 years in the making. I've been looking for that golden nugget right there. And 3 years. 3 years it took me to find that golden nugget. And the funny thing is, there's so many of them hidden out there that you're going to be looking for to become a better lifter. And I didn't start doing this variation probably wrist wrap. Gotta get some new wrist wraps. Until maybe, I don't know, recently. So you got to be patient with this whole thing, with this powerlifting thing. I don't want to say running is not as critical. I want to say the top level of a sport, if you're wanting to get yourself there, it takes time. I get people all the time that tell me, oh, I want to go to nationals. At a certain point, I'm like, just fuck off. Like, I want to get everybody there. I want to push people, get people there, but 90% of people just want to talk about shit. And if that's your goal, whether you want to get to nationals or you want to get to the Arnold or whatever it is, most people are going to have to prepare and understand that it's going to be some time. You know, it could take you a year. It could take you 3 years. You know. Deep down in your soul, you know. If you got to have a 500-pound bench and you're at a 150-pound bench, it's not going to be a year, okay? I'm not saying you can't get there, okay? But what I'm saying is, don't worry about the time. Worry about just showing up and being a good lifter and looking for those tiny little golden stitches that we find occasionally. It's like a little snack at the end of the rainbow. Kind of like a Rice Krispie treat on meat day. Shut up. No, but seriously. Powerlifting is not something that, in my personal opinion, that you have to worry about becoming the best in the world. I think showing up every day and just doing a little bit better and trying a little bit more, making sure you focus 1,000 times over on nutrition, recovery, rest. Because, dude, this is the easy part. We can come in, if you're like bred to lift heavy fucking weights, you come in the gym and you lift heavy shit, no problem. But are you eating to be able to fuel to lift heavier weights next time? Are you resting 8, 9, 10 hours a day? And you might be saying, oh, I can't do that. Well, then fuck off. You can't be a powerlifter. Because that's your mindset. Because if it matters to you, you will. Like, that's straight up what it is. Last set done. Now we gotta go do front squats. An exercise I hate most. But you know, what's really funny is with powerlifting, I think it's important that you have to understand probably the single most important thing about powerlifting is finding out what you're really bad at or what you're really weak at and trying to get amazing at it or as good as you are at the good things with those bad things. When I first started lifting front squats, I was like, oh, these are fun, these are cool. And then I realized they got really heavy really, really fast. And I understood that through a lot of my lifting, they became very, very weak points. Very, very weak quads. Hold on. I gotta get my water. I need to do my squat shoes. I know this is a long babbling video, and I apologize. But what I do not apologize for is the fact that I'm trying to help you understand the process of this whole thing. Powerlifting, in my opinion, is something that is all-consuming. And I'm not saying like I'm not a world champion or anything like that, you guys, but I would venture to say that I have a higher dedication than a lot of people that say they want to get somewhere in powerlifting. Obviously not more than powerlifters. You know, I guess mine is so important that it's really the thing that matters. And I think that it's the thing that matters because I want to be something. You know? I told my son before he died all the time. He used to hate people that had money. Oh, they're rich, they fucking suck. Boo. Well, they passed away, and I used to tell him all the time, no, they don't suck, man. There's great people in everybody. There's great people that are rich, there's great people that are poor, black, white, Asian, politicians, like everybody. There's somebody cool in everybody, you know what I mean? Like, not that always everybody's beliefs are cool, but Where was I going with this? Start rambling. Money isn't going to get you there. You could have all the money in the world. And I'm not going to lie, like, there's a lot of fucking things I need in this gym. I need dumbbells from 60 pounds to probably 150s. I could benefit from having a calf raise machine, some calibrated plates, a not bent bar, maybe a designated lat pull machine, AC, a lot of different things. But here's the fucking funny thing. None of that shit means a motherfucking thing if you ain't got what it takes to put in the work. And I think, in my opinion, powerlifters can be the second bougiest lifters out there. First being bodybuilders. Powerlifters can be like, oh, I need calibrated plates. Fuck you, Joel. I need this, I need that. You don't. You just need to show up. COVID happened, all the gyms started to close, you know, and hold on, I gotta grab some plates. And like all the public gyms, so we didn't really have nowhere to lift. And I remember hitting up a powerlifting company. And at the time, I was volunteering for them on a regular basis, just spotting and loading and doing all that shit. But I hadn't competed because I wanted to see how the sport worked and if I was interested or not. So when COVID happened, I was like, you know what? Everybody's like, oh, my pussy hurts. I can't do this, I can't do that. I can't go to the gym. Basically, everybody was getting weak, lazy, and fucking pissing me off. So what I decided was, I was going to get strong. There wasn't a lot I could do about it, but I could call the powerlifting company and say, hey, can I borrow some plates? Would that be okay? And they said, yeah, come pick it up. Come pick up some barbells or a barbell and some plates because we're not having any meets right now. And I decided when I come out of COVID, everybody's whining and complaining, I can't do this, I'm sick, blah, 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 blah. I figured, you know what? I'm gonna be a strong motherfucker. My first powerlifting meet, I opened up with 600 on the deadlift. And I was really proud of that. Really proud of that. I think my bench was 308 and my squat was 402 or 452 or some shit like that. It was pretty low. But they were kind of amazed, like, where the fuck did this dude come from? Straight out of COVID. Doing pretty goddamn good. And you know, it's funny because when that happened, people in the industry were like, oh, he's not doing it like this, he's not doing it like that. I got mad. I'm gonna be honest, I got really fucking mad. And they told me people were telling me, oh, your squat looks like shit. Your deadlift is bad off of the floor. You're not locking out. You're doing this. You're doing that. I blocked them motherfuckers out of my life. And then I analyzed and looked at some of the nuggets of truth that may have been true within those comments. And none of them were. None of those things that they were saying were true. So I was like, all right. But I did realize real quick, at like a few meets in, I had some major weaknesses. Happened to be my quads. And how I knew that was on my squats when I would not miss, but like when I would struggle, my ass would shoot up real hard. And I started doing some research and I understood that I was very posterior chain dominant. My backside of my body was stronger than my front. So I had to work on that, which is kind of rare. It's not normal for that. In my opinion, a lot of people have stronger quads than they have hamstrings, because we use our quads all the time. We don't use our hamstrings. And a lot of people under-train their hamstrings. But the reason I had that problem was because I was deadlifting on a regular basis, or an irregular basis. I had my deadlift up to 500, and by the time my deadlift was 500, my squat was 3. So, or less than that actually, no. It was like 550 to 3. So, but the big thing was, it's going to be the longest fucking video ever. The big thing was, it wasn't necessarily that I was weak in my quads. I just didn't train them in the same heavy platform that I did with my hamstrings. So I apologize in advance for this being such a long video. 3:20. But what time is it? The biggest thing is I video myself a lot, and what I've noticed, that was pretty light. What I've noticed is paying attention to what you do in different videos from different angles and stuff can probably give you the most amount of information out of anything. Anything. Literally fucking anything. When you're on your journey to powerlifting, you're gonna have to give up some shit. Every day, every day, every day. The first thing that comes to mind, if I say, oh, I want to go outdoors, or I want to do this, or I want to do that, how does that affect this? How? Do I want to go hiking 10 miles? No. Do I want to? Yeah. Should I? I don't know, it depends. Do I squat the next day? Let's go hit a single at 350 front squat. It's helping me being here with you. Thanks for coming. Butt's bothering me a little bit. That's annoying. One of the biggest things, the biggest piece of advice, I know I'm getting a lot of advice, and you might be thinking, you're just a random ass lifter. Yeah, you're right. I am. I'm just another guy, just like you. But I'll be going to nationals in 10 weeks for the first time, or for the second time. When you're powerlifting, I think the biggest thing that you have to understand is if you want to get good, you have to make some sacrifices, whether it's like going out or paying for other things. I don't think it's a hugely expensive sport. I think the expense is your time. That's it. I mean, I've had the same wrist wrap. At first, I was buying a bunch of shit because you're excited and stuff like that. I probably need some new wrist wraps. I would like to get custom-made wrist wraps for the gym, like let's say BSTYE or something shit like that. But I've had the same wrist wraps for maybe a year and a half now. They're getting kind of old, but they cost me $10. These knee sleeves probably had for a year. I think they were $60. That was a pretty big expense. Joel's got my new shoe, or my old shoes. I didn't really need to buy new shoes, but I just wanted to. I got on this kick. My squat shoes were $200. And
30 seconds remaining.
I set a timer between my sets, otherwise I fuck off for literally ever. But the time is the big thing. You got like ammonia and pre-workout and shit like that, but those are regular ass expenses that you'll have with anything else. Let's go! That bar has a tendency of jumping out. By the way, Titan Fitness, you're amazing. That's a Titan Fitness safety squat bar. That motherfucker has been through some shit. And that thing's amazing. So, thank you, Titan Fitness. I got some small stuff left after these. The biggest piece of advice I could probably leave this video with, I don't even know if I'll post this shit, it's a bunch of rambling. The biggest piece of advice that I could leave you with as a new power lifter is don't worry about numbers. Don't worry about records. Don't become obsessed with numbers. Because the numbers are going to come. Like, it's just inevitable. They're going to come. Recently, like over the last few years, I had focused on my favorite number is 666. No, I'm not the devil. I don't even believe in that shit. But growing up, we listened to like a lot of heavy metal and stuff. And it just happened to be like a number that reminds me of my childhood and stuff. I wanted to deadlift 666. It's kind of like this thing. The guy wears like the little devil costume in the meets and stuff like that. And I wanted to deadlift it so bad. And I stopped thinking about that number for a while and just kind of like wasn't really focused on it anymore. And at this last meet, randomly, I didn't even know. I was like, maybe I'll hit 650 because I had like maybe 5 or 6 records for deadlifts already at previous meets. And then I was like, holy shit, 639 was, I smoked it. And I was like, damn, dude, I could go for 680 easy. I could hit 680. My prep went really well. And I was like, oh shit, I want the 666. So I went for it, smoked it like nothing. Came in the next day, literally the next fucking day into the gym and hit 700 on the deadlift. So I knew it was there. So the moral of that is if you're focused on numbers, you're fucked. And you might be saying, what does that mean? Why do you say that? Guys, my first meet I opened with, or I did 600. A couple years later, in competition, I'm at 666. That's only 66 pounds. Somebody told me one time that I could deadlift 800. You could deadlift 800 if you keep going. So I've always had that like in the back of my head, right? I'm not saying I gotta grab a 2-pound weight. Hold on. Give me a second. Before I forget about it. I'm not saying that numbers don't matter. What I'm saying is you should not begin your journey obsessing about numbers. And the reason I say that is because if I'm focused on like 800, well, 650 sucks, 700 sucks, 750 sucks. Those shits don't suck. Those are amazing fucking numbers. And if you become obsessed with the numbers, you don't feel like good about like the process along the way. Hey, I've seen progress and stuff. You become fucked up on numbers, like, and that's bad. I gotta hit this real quick. But I'll explain some goals that I have in my mind, okay? And how I use those goals. Are front squats hard? Yeah. Are single front squats hard? No. I think I did 4 something last week. 410, 420. I never hit over 400 and I just tried it just to do it. Doing pretty well. I gotta add a 5 on each one. On each side next time. Let me know. Remind me. We're going to 365. Fuck, I'm gonna grab it now. I'll forget. You chose to come here, so shut up. I got gas like a motherfucker. I actually want to touch on nutrition a little bit before my numbers. You're going to watch a lot of this powerlifting stuff out there, and a lot of them are going to say, oh, by the way, if you get piriformis syndrome, which is like this area here inflamed from deadlifts or front squats, pounding water like a motherfucker helps a lot. I'm gonna do a plug real quick. I can't stand Dave Tate, but go watch his channel because he's got the podcast called Table Talk. He's got like every motherfucking powerlifter in the world on there, and it's good shit. 99% of it's trash, and they're just talking shit. But there are also some golden nuggets. The water for the piriformis syndrome has helped me immensely. Hydrating it, I would assume. Now, it's probably time for the next set. I time these shits because I'll fuck off.
10 seconds remaining.
There we go. You're getting tired, Juanito. Shut the fuck up. Out of 5 for the last set. Fucking grab the 5. I think this will be the longest video I've ever done. It's helping me get my training today, though. Thank you. I am going to touch on a couple more things. I don't know it all. I'm not that guy that thinks he does. I probably know 2% of the shit that's out there. I love the fact that I don't know it all. because I love learning. Nutrition. I'm going to try to touch on a couple things real quick before my next set. A lot of powerlifters out there, or people out there that talk about powerlifting, they talk about that you need to eat and make sure you get your protein and stuff, but they all have this comment that they say is, if you're eating in a surplus of any kind, then you don't have to, you're probably covering all your bases. Tate says that all the time. That's fucking bullshit. And the reason I say that's bullshit is because I can go right now and say you're a female, or just say you're a person. Go to fucking Taco Bell for breakfast and McDonald's for lunch. You're in a caloric surplus by 1,000 calories every day, right? Just 2 little ass meals. You ended up with 50 grams of protein. If you're a 250 pound dude, no, that's not gonna fucking work. You gotta have your macros figured out better than that. What I do like is something that Daniel Bell said. I don't know if it's true that he does it or whatever, but he says he eats 4 meals a day clean, which cover all his macros, his carbs, his fats, his proteins, and then he goes and eats like shit right before bed. That way you would be covered as a power lifter to be able to hit proper amount of protein and stuff like that. After this next set, I'll talk about I will talk about numbers and goals. This is over an hour video already. Holy shit, almost. I'll see if anybody watches this. I'm sure I will someday. This is going to be in the playlist, Road to Nationals, because I feel like some of this shit's important that I remember it, and maybe one day I won't be able to do shit like this. Ha 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 ha! I'll never quit. Did I have that fun? Yeah. Come on, boy! About a foot too low on that one. But that's okay. Front squats are done. That bothered my back a little bit. Numbers. Before I get started on some other stuff, what do we got next? Ooh, cable rows. I like cable rows. I write all my stuff down meticulously and keep track of all my sets. I've done that for 8 years, 10 years. I got tons of notebooks, and then I started doing it in my phone. So, numbers, as far as like lifetime goals and stuff like that, yeah, of course they're important, but I don't really like obsess over those. And the reason I say that is because if you're worried about a number, it better be, in my opinion, like your next set. Not like a number that you're focused on 5 years from now or something like that. The reason I say that is because there's going to be a lot of motherfucking shit that happens between now and then. Like a lot of shit. A lot of ups, a lot of downs, of things that you cannot anticipate, like, at all. Your biggest friend with all of this is going to be consistency. I do this because I got weak lats, and helps me pull the deadlift bar really hard to my body. So lifetime numbers. Whoa. What would they be for squat? Squat, in all honesty, I've never thought of. The only thing I've ever wanted to achieve in squats was, and that's just like kind of like a recent thing, I would like to take the American record in squats. And the American record, I believe, currently is at like, no, I don't know actually. I think Rob Ward just kicked that. I think it's something stupid like 760 or some shit. But there's another one I want to achieve. I think it's a different weight class, like 705 or something like that. I haven't really focused on the squat too much. Bench, an all-time number. These are Zotman curls, by the way. Arms are so sore lately. I don't know why. Deadlifts. Oh, bench. Sorry. It's hard to do this while training. Bench, something that I've wanted to achieve as like an all-time number would be 500. It would be cool. I mean, my like temporary goal would be to hit 4. Like 4 plates would be cool. But I don't really worry about that shit. Like, I think, in all honesty, it's within my ability to be able to hit 500 someday. Accessories cannot be skipped. Deadlift, my all-time number. I don't know, man. That's a hard one. Like, realistically, from where I'm like sitting now, I feel like, I don't know. It's so hard to say those numbers. I don't really focus on them too much. I mean, would I like to do 1,000 pounds? Yeah. Yeah, I would. Do I think I could do that without grips? Probably not. Do I think I could do it with grips? Probably. Would it take some extra juice inside of me? Maybe. Am I willing to do that? Probably not. Oh shit, those burn. I just went up 5 pounds. Might not seem like a lot, but it is. Okay, so my kind of mini goal for deadlifts, anything over 705 would be an American record. I would like that. I don't think that's gonna happen right now. It might though. If peaking goes well and this prep goes well, maybe hit it. The nationals, who knows? But I'm not really obsessing with numbers. All I want to do is a little bit better than I did last time. That's all I care about. I don't care about anything else. And the reason I say that is because I like lifting to be fun. I think if you're obsessing, I gotta hit 500 or the fuck this. Guess what happens when you don't hit 500? You whine like a little bitch ass baby and then you never return to the sport. That's stupid. So, I want to say the world, like ultimately as a man with no grips on, I would love to hit 400 kg, which is 881. But I mean, I'd be okay with 800, 750, whatever. Like, that's what I'm saying. Don't be obsessed with numbers so much. You know when you're a power lifter is when people think you're crazy. You're gonna break your back. You're gonna fucking do this. You don't do nothing but stay in the gym. That's bad for you. While they smoke cigarettes and drink alcohol and do drugs. Ow. Ah. Shit. There's a lot of cheating going on there, boy. That's when you know you made it in anything. When I was running, people are like, oh, it's so bad for you. You're running too much, 50 miles a week. I ran a marathon, bitch, and you didn't. You know? So, when people start saying that shit, that's when you know you're on a path that few will achieve. What you got left? Shrugs. Shrugs. Got some shrugs. I write this stuff down. Let's do 325 for 3 sets of 12. I'm gonna turn you around. We ain't done. What y'all don't realize is there was a lot that I had to do before you and I even showed up. So I feel like if I could deadlift 800, if I could squat 800, and I could bench 5, those would be pretty decent numbers. Those would be like, I did okay as a 42-year-old man or something like that. Like, but realistically, I kind of got my eyes on like 705 or 708, 710 squat, 710 deadlift, and 400 bench or something like that. I'm not worried about like records. I think the deadlift would be a record and the squat maybe in a different weight class, but just 400 is kind of like a personal thing for bench milestone, and I do want that American record for deadlifts. But yeah, don't focus so much on the numbers. I used to. I do think it's intelligent to, you know, put some long-term goals together at what you want to be able to achieve and stuff, but you got to be hella realistic and get those out of your head for a while. Don't worry so much about, those are the people, if you're saying, I want to achieve this, achieve the next session, dude. Achieve the next month. Achieve the next meet. Don't worry about nothing else. You might get to like 3 meets out and be like, oh, fuck. I want to do a 900-pound deadlift and I'm only at 3. That ain't gonna happen, dude. It just ain't gonna happen. Anyway, I gotta go. Go to the fucking gym.